The night mom called at 2 a.m., sobbing into the phone, "Lena, please, the hospital bill's due, your dad's coughing up blood again, we can't lose the house." I let the silence stretch, then whispered, "Remember when you said my proofs were lies? Priorities, right?" Lesson time's over. Click. Hung up, blocked her number, and slept like a baby for the first time in years. My name is Lena Harper, and if you're tuning into this like it's some Reddit AITA thread or a late-night confessional on TikTok, buckle up because this isn't polished memoir crap, it's me venting over a cold beer in my cramped apartment, the kind of story I'd spill to a bartender who nods without judging. I'm 38, single by choice after one too many fixer-uppers, working as a project manager for a logistics firm in Chicago that keeps the lights on but doesn't make me rich. No kids, no pets, just a stack of self-help books I half-read and a savings account that's finally mine. But family? Oh, they were my black hole, sucking in every dime, every favor, every ounce of sanity until I hit eject. It started way back, the way these toxic family sagas do, with a mom who played favorites like it was her job, a dad who enabled it with shrugs, and siblings who piled on because misery loves company. Rewind to when I was the reliable one, the good daughter, and watch how that burned me alive. But let's not gloss over the gritty buildup, the everyday slights that chipped away at me like rust on that old aluminum siding back home. I grew up in a split level in suburban Detroit, the kind with aluminum siding that peeled in Michigan winters and a backyard big enough for kickball but not dreams. Picture it, snow drifts up to the windows in January, the furnace groaning like an old man, and inside, the air thick with mom's cigarette smoke and dad's aftershave. Mom, Diane, was a part-time receptionist at a dentist's office, chatty, dramatic, the woman who'd turn a hangnail into a soap opera episode, complete with fake gasps and calls to the neighbors for sympathy. She'd perch on the kitchen stool in her polyester scrubs, dialing Aunt Rita, can you believe it? The drill bit slipped, nearly took my finger off. Dad, Tom, drove trucks for Ford, home late with grease under his nails, a six-pack in the cooler from the gas station, and stories about dodging deer on I-75. He was the quiet anchor, or so I thought, until it came to family decisions, where he'd just nod along to Mom's script. 3 kids, me, the middle, sandwiched between my golden child older sister, Brooke, by 3 years, and my baby brother, Kyle, 4 years younger, who could do no wrong because he had Dad's dimples and that crooked grin that melted everyone. From the jump, it was clear, Brooke's tears got the stage, Kyle's screw-ups got the pass, and my straight-A report cards? That's just Lena being Lena. Reliable. Invisible. Take kindergarten. Brooke, at 6, threw a tantrum in the school parking lot because her pigtails came undone. Mom swooped in, canceled her shift, spent the afternoon at the beauty supply store braiding extensions and buying ice cream. Me? Same age, fell off the monkey bars, split my lip wide open, blood everywhere, teacher calling home. Mom sighed over the phone, Lena, walk it off, Brooke's got dance class pickup. Dad bandaged it with a paper towel and a grunt, toughen up, kiddo. Kyle, at 3, flooded the bathroom testing if toy boats floated in the toilet. Mom laughed it off, called the plumber on my chore money, I'd saved $20 from lemonade stands, and made me mop while she cuddled him with cartoons. Early signs were kid stuff, but they stuck like gum on a shoe. Brooke at 12, shoplifting lipstick from the mall, Revlon red, bold as her attitude. Caught red-handed, security calling Mom. She bailed her out with hugs and she's just testing boundaries, poor thing, puberty's rough, then took her for manicures to build confidence. I got grounded for a week because I should have stopped her, even though I was in the shoe section trying on Keds. Kyle at 10, crashing Dad's F-150 into the mailbox after sneaking keys from the kitchen hook, truck dented, mailbox splintered like matchsticks. Dad laughed it off over burgers at Big Boy, boys will be boys, learning the hard way, and made me wash the car as punishment for leaving the keys out. They were on the counter, where Mom always tossed them. Me? I was the fixer from day one, tutoring Brooke through algebra so she wouldn't flunk summer school, her kicking the desk while I explained fractions like a saint. Covering Kyle's chores when he bailed for pickup games in the empty lot, mowing the lawn in 90-degree heat, weeds up to my knees, while he scored touchdowns and got high fives. All while juggling my own AP classes, a paper route on my Schwinn bike at dawn, dodging potholes, and stray dogs for quarters that went straight into a shoebox college fund mom promised to match but never did. High school amplified it. Brooke, queen bee of the cheer squad, dated the quarterback and threw parties in our basement when parents were out, beer pong with stolen cases from dad's garage, neighbors calling the cops at midnight. Mom covered, just kids blowing off steam. Lena, you should have warned me, as if I wasn't upstairs cramming for SATs with headphones on. I'd sneak down to break it up, dragging drunk freshmen upstairs, only to get blamed for the mess. Kyle? Joined the football team, lettered as a freshman, but flunked bio because he spent nights joyriding in buddies' cars. Dad bribed the coach with tickets to Lions games. Mom hired me as his tutor, $5 an hour, half of which she borrowed for Brooke's prom dress. My senior year? Valedictorian speech polished to a shine, but at graduation, Mom gushed over Brooke's supportive presence in the audience and Kyle's future star potential. My diploma? Tucked in a drawer while they framed his participation trophy. College? I scraped scholarships and loans for U of M, state school, and Arbor's grit over glamour, studying business because practical, Mom said, like dreams were for lottery winners. Brooke dropped community college after one semester for modeling, waitressing at Hooters with headshots from a mall kiosk that made her look like a 90s catalog. Kyle coasted on football rides to a junior college that folded mid-season, landing him back home with a duffel and excuses. I visited weekends, laundry in tow, only to find Mom's laundry list, Brooke's car payments late, wire $200? Kyle needs cleats. My ramen budget stretched thin, but guilt glued my thumbs to Venmo.by25. I'd landed my first real job in Chicago, entry-level logistics at a warehouse firm off the Dan Ryan, $45,000 salary, thrilled to escape the Detroit orbit. Cubicle with a fake plant, boss who chain-smoked in the parking lot, but freedom, no more basement parties, no more midnight bailouts. But family strings tugged hard, barbed wire disguised as love. Mom called weekly from the landline. Brooke's boyfriend cleaned her out, some tattoo artist with a Harley habit. Can you wire $500? She'll pay back, pinky swear. Brooke never did, texts like, "THX sis, you are a lifesaver," then ghosted for months. Kyle, flunking trade school for welding. Lena, spot me tuition? $1,200, Dad says you're doing well in the big city. I sent it via PayPal, 8 PBJ for 2 weeks, because family helps family, right? My emergency fund? Started at 22, religiously padding it with 10% of every paycheck. First deposit $50 from a birthday card, into a no-fee Ally account I baited like a kid. Goal, 6 months living, then a house down payment, a nest egg for the me I'd ignored. By 27, it hit $8,000, a quiet pride next to my twin bed in a Logan Square walk-up. The drama escalated when Brooke hit 28, same age as me, but light years in chaos. Landed a real job as a receptionist at a salon, dated Rick the mechanic, greasy hands, sweeter talk, promised the world in a lifted Chevy. They married in a shotgun Vegas chapel, Elvis officiating via webcam, Mom footing the $300 flight. Popped out 2 kids in quick succession, little Ava at 29, colicky screamer with reflux that kept Brooke up nights, Jax at 30, chubby-cheeked but with chronic ear infections that drained pediatric copays. Rick's entrepreneurship? Flipped cars on the side, but mostly blew paychecks on fantasy football leagues and bar tabs. Brooke called me crying from the ER waiting room, "Sis, Ava's fever's 103, Rick's truck broke down again, can't work overtime. Mom said you'd help with the deductible." I flew home on Southwest, red-eye from O'Hare, wired $2,000 for antibiotics, a new alternator, even held Ava on my lap during the flight back while Brooke chain-smoked Marlboros on the porch, scrolling Insta for Momfluencer inspo. Mom beamed over pot roast that night, "See? Lena's got it together, always does, our rock." But when my turn came, car transmission blew on the Eisenhower, $1,500 out of pocket, towing fees eating my grocery budget. Mom sighed over FaceTime, her kitchen clock ticking. "Honey, Brooke's in crisis mode. Priorities, Rick's talking layoff. Can it wait?" Priorities. That word became my curse, etched like a tattoo I never wanted. Dad echoed it during holiday dinners at the Formica table, Kyle nodding along with a Bud Light in hand, lime wedge squeezed just so. Kyle, by then 24, bouncing between jobs, auto shop grunt, then Uber driver dodging potholes for tips, then starting a gym with a buddy's garage setup that folded after 3 months when the business plan turned out to be beer posters. I'd Venmo $300 for rent, $400 for equipment, because his texts hit like punches. Sis, eviction notice, please? My fund dipped to $5,000, but I rebuilt it over time, telling myself it was temporary, like a bad flu. Birthdays? Mine, a Hallmark card with $20 tucked in. Brooks, I drove up with a Kate Spade bag on sale. Kyle's, custom weight bench from Dick's Sporting Goods, $250 I charged on my Visa. Then the big one, Brooks' emergency at 32, the hurricane that flooded everything. Rick bailed, literally, skipped town with his side chick, a bartender from the local dive, and half their savings, $4,000 from the joint account wired to a crypto wallet. Brooke showed up at mom and dad's in a U-Haul, kids in car seats wailing, mascara-streaked face like a raccoon. Mom went full martyr mode, sold her costume jewelry at a pawn shop on 8 Mile, got $150 for a pearl necklace grandma left her, cashed dad's IRA early, penalties $800, but family first, and turned their musty basement into a nursery with thrift store cribs and space heaters. We're all in this together, she declared at the emergency family meeting in the living room, TV muted on Jeopardy. But when I visited that weekend, arms full of Costco diapers and Enfamil formula, it was me buying the crib off Craigslist, $120, assembled it myself with YouTube tutorials, me scrubbing mold off the walls while Brooke napped upstairs. Dipped into my fund, $5K over 6 months, because Brooke's wails on speakerphone gutted me. Lena, the girls are starving. Rick took the food stamps card too. I can't even buy Cheerios. Mom co-signed every ask. Your sister's drowning, Lena. Can't you see? She's got those little ones, your clock's still ticking, but hers? Priorities. I saw, alright, patterns repeating like a bad sitcom. Brooke partied through the pain, nights out at karaoke bars with gal pals, posting selfies in low-cut tops captioned single mom slay, while I crunched numbers at work, alone in my one bedroom with ramen nights and frozen burritos to recover the dips. Dad's health dipped too, smoker's cough turning chronic, doc visits to the VA clinic revealing early emphysema, oxygen tanks in the garage gathering dust. But even that looped back to the favorites, help your mom with Brooke so she doesn't stress him out. Last flare-up was after Ava's fever scare. I'd drive up monthly, fund another tank of gas, play auntie with the kids, pushing Ava on the swing set, reading Goodnight Moon to Jax, only to leave with mom's envelope, just $300 for Brooke's therapy copay, depression's real. My year of me at 35? A joke. Promotion at work, $78K now, managing a team of 5 dispatchers in a glass-walled office overlooking the Chicago River, meant longer hours, but I'd a condo down payment like a finish line. Fund rebuilt to $30,000, fat and proud, spreadsheet tracked to the penny. Splurged on a weekend in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, all-inclusive, solo with a Kindle and piña coladas, first vodka without family guilt since college spring break. Posted one sunset pic on Insta, recharging. Then Kyle's rock bottom, arrested for DUI at 3 a.m. on Woodward Avenue, swerving in his beater Civic, totaled it into a guardrail, fines $1,500, license suspended 6 months, court date looming. He called from lockup, voice slurry, sis, bail's $2,000, mom's freaking, says Brooke can't handle more stress with the kids' school starting. Mom jumped on the 3-way, Lena, priorities, your brother's just lost his way. Send it quick, Western Union. I did, but this time, I documented, screenshots of texts, emails recapping the $15,000 plus I'd covered last 2 years, tuition, bailouts, baby gear, even started a family group chat on WhatsApp where I laid it out plain. Guys, love you, but I've been the safety net too long. Can we set boundaries? My funds for my future too, house, retirement. Maybe a shared Google Sheet for tracking? Silence at first, the kind that echoes. Then the pile-on, swift as a Michigan blizzard. Brooke, OMG Lena, always about the money. We're family, not a bank. Kyle, chill, it's one time, you got that big job now. Dad, private text, don't be selfish, kiddo. Blood's thicker. But Mom? Nuclear fallout. Called me at work during lunch, voicemail a 12-minute rant, voice cracking with that fake cry edge, how dare you keep score? After all we've done, raised you right, put food on the table? Brooks proofs you sent, those bank statements showing you overspent on that Mexico trip? Lies. We know the truth, you're hoarding while we suffer here. $30,000? That's a down payment on a mansion while your sister's in a basement. Proofs? I'd shared my ally statements for transparency, redacted balances, but she twisted it in the chat, forwarded screenshots with arrows circling my vacation withdrawal, caption C? Selfish. Siblings echoed like parrots, Kyle with memes, a Scrooge McDuck swimming in gold coins, tagged Lena vibes, Brooke posting sob stories on Facebook, subtle jabs like some family forgets the little ones hashtag blessed but broken with pics of Ava's empty lunchbox, comments section lighting up with prayers for you, girl, who's that about? I confronted over coffee that night, laptop open to the chat, Mom, that's not fair, Mexico was one weekend, earned PTO after closing that merger. The funds from overtime, not your fridge money. Her reply, FaceTime from the kitchen, Dad in the background flipping channels, fair? Life ain't fair, Lena. Priorities, Brooks got divorce papers coming, Kyle's court in 2 weeks. Cut the drama, or don't come home. Drama. From the woman who'd cry over a chipped Corelle plate or Dad's forgotten anniversary flowers. I froze the aid, no more wires, no visits beyond kid birthdays with Target gift cards, radio silence on the asks. They tested boundaries like toddlers, Kyle texted for gas money to court, $50, Brooke for Ava's school supplies, backpacks torn, $80. Ignored, deleted. Mom escalated, mailed a guilt trip letter on lavender stationery, postmarked from the post office where she still bought stamps with food coupons. Your father's coughing worse, nights he can't sleep. How can you abandon us? Enclosed, family photo from your graduation. Remember? Attached? Proofs, crude Photoshop jobs, my bank app screens doctored to show $100,000 balances, like I was hiding a secret inheritance. Siblings amplified in the chat, Kyle sharing a TikTok of toxic family cuts, ironic as hell. Brooks' invite to a virtual baby shower for Jax's third, all welcome, unless you're too busy counting coins. I went low contact, therapy on my dime via BetterHelp, $65/week unpacking the enmeshment, you're the identified patient, Lena, but really the family ATM time to default the loan. Revenge? Not a bloodbath with pitchforks, but a slow burn, strategic, like starving a fire of oxygen, watching the embers die while you fan your own. I waited, because rushing screams weakness, and I'd learned patience from years of waiting my turn. First, protected my assets like a fortress, updated my will, estate to a women's shelter in Detroit, not a soul in the bloodline, changed beneficiaries on my 401k to a college buddy who'd actually listened, even got a P.O. box for mail to dodge the forwarded bills Mom started sending, just FYI, Lena. Work promo meant a relocation offer, Seattle, $95,000 with remote hybrid, fresh start amid evergreens, but I stayed, building equity in Chicago's volatile market, stalking Zillow for Wicker Park steals. Meanwhile, their house of cards wobbled like a Jenga tower after too many pulls. Brooke's latest boyfriend, a sound engineer named Tyler with a man bun and a van full of amps, bailed after 3 months, ghosting with her Netflix password and $10,000 in credit debt from joint ventures, his weed edibles startup. Kids in public school now, hand-me-down uniforms, Ava bullied for her thrift store backpack, Jackson speech therapy for a lisp Rick's absence exacerbated. Kyle? Fired from the gym for borrowing, stealing, equipment, dumbbells pawned for bail money, couch surfing at Mom's, basement full with Brooks' crew, air thick with tension and takeout smells, I monitored from afar, a digital ghost, social media lurks on incognito, mutual cousin whispers over holiday texts, Aunt Rita, the neutral one, they're sinking slow, Lena, your mom asked if you're okay last week. Mom's post shifted, from blessed with strong kids #family first to cryptic Bible verses, the Lord helps those who help themselves, but comments begged, how's Tom holding up? Need meals? Pride kept her mum, no GoFundMe, we ain't beggars, but cracks spiderwebbed. 6 months in, Kyle Civic repoed, called from a payphone at the bus station, Lena, emergency, can you spot $600? Mom's car won't start. Blocked his line, heart thumping but steady. Brooke's eviction notice leaked via Aunt Rita's group text, kids with me till she sorts, prayers. Mom's breaking point, passive-aggressive voicemails left on my work extension, how? Old habit, thought you'd call for Dad's birthday, but I guess priorities change. He's asking for you. Inside, the tug-of-war raged, the kid in me wanted to wire it all, bake lasagna, hug it out, the adult? New enabling was pouring gas on the fire, the pile-up hit like dominoes in year 1 post-cutoff, fall turning to a brutal Michigan winter. Dad's hospital stay, pneumonia flare from the emphysema, admitted to Henry Ford with IVs and beeping monitors, $15,000 bill after insurance haggling. Mom's FB live from the waiting room, uncharacteristic vulnerability, tough times, prayers please, Tom's fighting hard. No direct ask, but the subtext screamed. Brooke maxed out her cards for essentials, Ava's braces consult, $800 down, Jax's antibiotics, $150, landing her in collections calls at midnight. Kyle joined a court-mandated AA group, white-knuckling sobriety, but rent? Bounced checks to a roommate who threatened fists. Family group chat, I lurked, notifications off rants about ungrateful Lena the lawyer, half-baked plans to confront her at Christmas, show up unannounced. I screenshotted everything, consulted a family law attorney on retainer, $200 per hour, worth every penny, just in case of smears or elder abuse claims twisted my way. Work suffered for them, mom's stress from caregiving led to panic attacks at the dentist's, boss letting her go amicably, Brooke's daycare drama, Jax bit a kid, suspended, cost her shifts at the salon, tips drying up like the Detroit River in drought, climax brewed at Thanksgiving, forced family Zoom because pandemic rules linger, but really mom's ploy to corner me virtual style. Screen popped up at 6 p.m. My time, turkey thawing in my crockpot solo, her gaunt face in fluorescent kitchen light, Dad wheezing in the recliner behind with an Afghan over his lap, Brooke with raccoon eyes from crying Jags, Kyle fidgety in a hoodie, nursing a NA soda. Lena. So glad you joined, Mom beamed, but her eyes were pleading, red-rimmed like she'd rehearsed in the mirror. Small talk soured fast over virtual mashed potatoes, so, how's that fancy job treating you? Saving for your condo while we manage here? Trail off heavy with accusation, Brooke chiming, yeah, must be nice, my car's towed again, 3rd time this month. Kyle, life's peachy for some, huh? Pass the rolls. Dad coughed into his fist, Lena, about that fund we talked, times are tight. There it was, the ask, wrapped in denial and cranberry sauce. My heart raced like a freight train, but I leaned in, camera close, voice even, tight? Like when you called my statements lies, Mom? The ones proving $40,000 over 5 years, Brooke's divorce, Kyle's DUIs, Dad's co-pays, while you picked her crises over my transmission fix. Gasps rippled, Brooke's what the, Kyle's eye roll, Dad's wheeze. Mom stammered, that's not how, we were upset, Lena. Family's family. Help a bit? Just $5,000, wire tonight? I held her gaze, priorities, right? You chose drama over details. Now I choose, no more. Lesson time. Logged off mid-bite, deleted the app, phone blowing up, texts in a frenzy, selfish bitch. Block this from Brooke, come on, sis, Dad's dying here, from Kyle, Mom sobs in voicemail, how could you abandon us? You're breaking my heart. They spiraled hard after that, a feedback loop of blame and broke. Bills piled like snowdrifts, hospital follow-ups for Dad, $3,000 quarterly, utility shutoffs, power flicked twice in January, kids huddled under blankets, Brooke's kids qualifying for free lunch programs at school, stigma stinging her proud mom posts. Mom pawned dad's craftsman tool set, $800 from the estate sale shop, gone in a month on propane for the furnace. Kyle relapsed once, bender after a AA skip, woke in a ditch, black eye from a bar fight, but clawed back, crashing at a sponsor's. Family fractures deepened, Brooke versus Kyle screaming matches in the basement, you always got the passes, I got the shaft. Mom mediating with Valium and tea. Aunt Rita's updates, Diane's not eating, lost 15 pounds. Tom's on generics now, but the cough, prayers. The 2 a.m. call came month 14, October, rainy Chicago night slapping my windows, me scrolling Zillow for fun, fund at $45,000 with compound interest. Mom's voice, raw as gravel, Lena. Dad's readmitted, same pneumonia, but weaker. Bills at $20,000 now, insurance denied the upgrade. Your sister's evicted for good, kids split between us and Rita. Kyle's homeless, sleeping in his truck. Please, we can't lose the house to foreclosure. Tears flowed, real this time, no script, just hitches and sniffles. We were wrong. Your proofs weren't lies. We chose wrong, Brooke's drama over your stability. Forgive? Pause hung, the old pull tugging like heartstrings on a fiddle. But then my whisper, steel-edged, lesson times over. Heal your own. Click. Blocked all lines, even the landline. Blocked the ache too, therapy next day via Zoom, unpacking the ghost of good daughter. Boundaries aren't walls, Lena, they're doors you control. Lock M. Aftermath? Liberation, slow and sweet as Chicago summer. I pulled the trigger on the condo, 2-bed in Wicker Park, $320,000 craftsman with exposed brick and a bay window for my ficus, 10% down from that untouched fund, now $50,000 with smart investments, Vanguard Index, low fees. Closing day? Signed papers in a lawyer's office smelling of coffee, popped champagne solo on the stoop, bubbles fizzing like freedom. Work thrived, team lead now, closing contracts with Japan suppliers, remote perks meaning WFH in yoga pants. Dated casually via Bumble, no rescuers, just a barista named Alex with tattoos and therapy stories, our third date at a dive with darts and deep talks, your family's the villain arc, props for the plot twist. Family? Crumbled then rebuilt without me as the glue. Mom sold the split level, foreclosure loomed at auction, downsized to a 1-bed rental in Warren, Medicaid bridging dad's gaps, oxygen tank humming steady. Brooke got Section 8 housing, part-time gig at Target stocking shelves overnight, kids stabilized in free after-school programs and therapy, irony, Ava drawing happy family pics without Rick. Kyle sobered up full, moved to Ohio for a cousin's couch and a mechanic apprenticeship, $18/hour, first paycheck framed on his nightstand. They tried bridges, tentative as ice in spring, apology card at Easter, and signed but scented with mom's lavender, forgive? We miss your laugh. I framed it on my fridge, yellow sticky note, reminder, past tense. Cousin Rita forwarded a group pic from Kyle's 6-month sober party, him grinning with a cake-iced, new chapter, Brooke hugging Ava tight, no tags, but the message clear. No contact, but peace settled like dust after a storm. Work friends became chosen family, book club with Sarah, my college roomie, monthly wine nights dissecting Breen Brown, vulnerability's a choice, not a chain. Ran that 5K in Grant Park, shaved 5 pounds, felt bones under skin like armor. Traveled more, Portland food tour, truffle fries and craft brews, no family first tags on the gram holidays post cutoff? Mine, unapologetic. First Christmas alone, scrawny tree from Costco, strung with white lights and ornaments I'd collected solo, a silver star from Mexico, a football for Kyle's ghost. Hallmark movies on Hulu, Chinese takeout from Joye's, Kung Pao chicken spicy as my resolve. Cried at midnight mass on TV, Bing Crosby crooning, but dawn brought coffee black and clarity, this is the plot I write. New Year's Eve, resolution scrawled in a moleskine, aid only to strays, not snakes, invest in Lena Inc. Fireworks over the river from my balcony, solo toast with Prosecco. Their holidays? Zoom fails turning to in-person fractures, Aunt Rita's relay, blowout at Easter dinner, ham cold on the table. Brooke versus Mom, you always picked my messes over everyone, Lena saw it first. Mom, voice shrill, she was stable, you weren't. I protected you. Kyle mediated, sober knuckles white on his fork, enough, Lena's gone 'cause we pushed. Dad coughed through it, girls, pass the rolls. Year 2 dawned with their calls slowing to drips. Mom's cancer scare, mammogram flagged a lump, biopsy $2,000 they scraped from couch cushions and plasma donations, no reach out to me, boundaries respected like a force field. Benign, thank God, but it shifted her, therapy via church group, unpacking codependency over bad coffee, Diane, you can't save them all. I donated anonymously to a Detroit family shelter, $500 wired with a note, for the fixers who forget themselves. Brooke's milestone, GED at 37, night classes at the community center, landed a call center job fielding complaints, turning point, Rita texted, with a thumbs up emoji. Kyle, engaged to a nurse named Mia, grounded now, planning a courthouse wedding, no drama, just us. Dad, quit smoking cold turkey after the scare, lungs clearing enough for short walks to the park bench, feeding pigeons like old times. The 2 a.m. call lingered in dreams sometimes, her voice, broken porcelain cracking under weight. I unblocked the landline once, late-night curiosity, listened to old voicemails queued like landmines, early rants turning to mid-cutoff regrets. Lena, come home, we'll talk, post-Zoom please, your father's asking why. Sent one text from a burner app, healing takes space. Focus yours. No reply, radio static. Revenge's endgame? Not destruction or gloating over headlines, it's the quiet win of no without apology, the plot twist where the side character steals the show. They learned priorities the hard way, self over savior, details over drama. Me? I learned love's not a ledger to balance, but damn, when it evens out, it feels like hitting the jackpot. Fund at $60,000 now, condo equity climbing, a life scripted by me, no sequels required, word count, 5123 for core expansion, but wait, details demand more layers, like that time at 28 when my appendix burst mid-shift, ER solo in Chicago's Mercy Hospital, scalpel cold and lights blinding, no one answering calls because Mom was at Brooke's engagement dinner, lasted 3 months. Woke to Jell-O and a bill, texted surgery, okay, got thought food poisoning, Brooke's recital tomorrow. Or Kyle's wedding flop at 30, he eloped with a stripper named Candy, blew $3,000 I loaned for honeymoon in Niagara, motel with heart tub, STD scare follow-up, divorced in 6 months over her side gigs. Priorities shifted, he joked over beers I bought, I laughed then, sobbed in the shower later. Fund $2,000 lighter, flash deeper to the cutoff's gritty underbelly, month by month like a diary I burned but remember. First 30 days? Panic attacks at work, hyperventilating in the 3rd floor bathroom stall, boss knocking Harper? Meeting in 5, me splashing water, forcing breaths, in for 4, hold, out for 6. Snapped at a barista for decaf instead of regular, tipped 0, regretted it walking home in sleet. Therapy unpacked the grief, you're mourning the fantasy family, Lena, the one where you're seen. Real one's flawed, let it go. Journaled rages in a spiral notebook, pages of why me? Why always the wallet, flipping to why not? I'm the arc. Built rituals, Sunday brunches solo at Wildberry Pancakes, mimosas bottomless, eavesdropping on tourists while plotting my 5-year plan. Friends? Real ones rallied, Sarah flew in from Philly, screw the Harpers, girls' weekend, no phones, just us. We hit the Art Institute, Van Gogh's starry swirls blurring with wine tears, her toast at RPM Italian, to the black sheep who bit back, may your wool be bulletproof. Their side, pieced from leaks like puzzle shards, Mom's church group, First Baptist on Gratiot, shunned the drama queen whispers, Diane's kids, always trouble, that Lena cut em off cold. She doubled down on faith, leading Bible studies over lukewarm Sanka, quoting Proverbs on honoring parents, but skipping the prodigal son. Dad? Grunted acceptance in rare lucid moments, Lena's right, we owed her big. Shoulda matched that shoebox. But pride stung deep, he skipped Ford reunions, old buddies asking where's the crew, with pity eyes. Brooks' rock bottom hit summer, welfare office lines at 7 a.m., forms in triplicate, kids asking where's Auntie Lena's presents, in that innocent knife twist. She DM'd once from a fake account, profile pic a filtered selfie, hate you, but need $100 for formula, kids crying. Deleted, blocked, but it haunted, therapy call next day, that's manipulation 101, Lena. You're breaking the cycle. Kyle? The wildcard soul, sent a sober letter month 8, stamped crooked, sis, I get it now. I was a leech, sucking dry. Working the steps, miss your eye rolls at my BS. If when, coffee? Kept the envelope, unread fully, but it softened edges like sandpaper on rust.my glow up. Intentional as a blueprint. Joined that book club, mostly divorced moms in their 40s, stories mirroring mine over Pinot at a Lincoln Park wine bar, cut the cord, honey, oxygen masks first, or you both choke. Ran the 5K turning to a half marathon, Nike app tracking miles, shaved pounds and doubts, crossed the finish with a medal heavy as vindication. Dated Mike the divorcee, steady engineer, no baggage, first sleepover in my new place, whispered the saga over Thai delivery, he held me through the ugly cry, badass move. They lost the plot, you rewrote the ending. Work bonus hit $10,000, half to fund, ballooning to $60,000, diversified with ETFs, half to Roth IRA, future-proofing like armor. Traveled Boulder, Portland food cart pods, voodoo donuts dusted in bacon, then a girl's trip to Nashville with Sarah, honky-tonks and hot chicken, line dancing without a care. Flash to micro moments that built the wall higher, the what-ifs that whispered at 3 a.m. Like sophomore year, mom's 50th, I planned the surprise party at the VFW hall, for $100 from my paper route savings on catering, wings, jello salad, invited 30 folks, even picked her bouquet of carnations. She cried happy tears, hugged me tight, my Lena, always the thoughtful one. But toast time? To Brooke, my wild heart, and Kyle, my little champ, y'all keep life exciting. Me? And Lena, well, she's steady. Steady. Code for boring. Or Dad's retirement at 62, I emceed the Ford barbecue, rented the PA system, toasted with a speech on the man who taught us grit, footed the bar tab, $300 in domestics. He clapped my back, proud, kiddo. But next day, check for $100, for your troubles, while Brooke got a used Camry for her new start, Kyle a fishing boat to relax. Year 2's holidays evolved, mine a mosaic of chosen rituals. 4th of July, rooftop barbecue with book club, brats sizzling, fireworks popping over the skyline, toasts to independence from chains. Theirs? Rita's relay of a subdued cookout, plastic flags limp, Brooke tipsy on seltzers, snapping at Kyle, you got sober, big whoop, I got the kids full-time now. Mom mediated with store-bought pie, Dad napping through the booms. Labor Day, I hiked Starved Rock, blisters and bliss, summit views stretching like possibility. They? Basement flood from a storm, $2K water damage, insurance fight, sleeping on air mattresses. By 38, the scars faded to lines, therapy tapering to monthly check-ins, journal traded for a vision board, condo pics, passport stamps, a quote from Audre Lorde, caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it's self-preservation. Family echoes faint, Rita's annual update text, all stable, sending love, unreplied but filed. Mom's 60th? I wired $50 to the church fund anonymously, no note. Brooke's Insta? Followed from a Finsta, saw her mom boss reels, stable job, kids in soccer, a boyfriend who lasts. Kyle's wedding pic circulated, courthouse simple, Mia in sundress, him beaming clean-shaven. Dad's cough? Mild now, walks with a cane, emails from Rita, says hi to his Chicago girl. Revenge wrapped? Nah, it's a series, every no an episode, every deposit a cliffhanger resolved. If this hits home, the chosen scapegoat with the endless tab, the giver drained dry, no, cut-off's a gift, wrapped rough but yours. Untie it slow. Prioritize the mirror first, smile back fierce. Harper Strong, or whatever name you claim. Plot's yours now.